Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Robot Attack. I'm Scouter75. We have, of course, the three amazing people here. We have KKR, KingKongRong. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, fantastic. We have Nutmegsupernova. How are you?
Hello.
I
Good.
did
How
it
are
right
you?
this time. I'm doing
You said it right.
fantastic. We're doing great. Don't like here. Too bad. And we got, of course, our co-host, Beskar Snake. Hello, how are you?
Howdy, howdy. Doing well as always.
We brought three of the best friends here. We the Robot Attack, we talk about video games and video games topics, and this topic is a doozy. As always, we always talk about great things. We always start off with we talk about video games, and so we usually talk a little bit about what games we played recently, and then we kind of talk about a topic related to, well, this month's podcast. This month topic is kind of related in a way.
It's gaming adjacent.
As a gaming
or
adjacent.
Can be.
Yeah, exactly. So Nutmeg, we'll start with you. What video games have you been playing with lately?
So I have been. I like rehearse this and everything. So I haven't been playing a lot of games recently, but I am on my second playthrough of Resident Evil Requiem. Played it once on PC. Did it on like the modern one, like the one where you don't have to like collect ribbon ink and everything to save, and then played that. Currently playing on the PlayStation 5. And I'm doing the classic where you do have to collect the ribbon inks. And I recently got Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly remake. So I've been playing that every now and again, and I am in search of a new cozy game because I don't think Palia's doing it for me right now.
Well, Wholesome Direct is coming up. You're welcome.
That is very true, actually. Yeah. But I want it on my Switch because I don't want to have to sit on my computer.
They do have some games on the Switch.
I'm gonna have to keep an eye out.
Yeah. You're welcome. It's the best thing ever.
Thank you.
Yeah. KKR, what have you been playing lately?
I've been playing a lot of games, actually. With Fortnite specifically, as I have a fun story there. For those who have been watching me here as a guest, you should know that since I was last here on the show, Scouter has come to my chat every Friday for Fortnite, and every time he shows up, we win. It's been going on for months.
He's a good luck charm.
He's a good luck charm.
Wow.
And so this past Friday, I was for my charity stream. I was like, I'll donate $5 for every win that I
now
get.
He's bankrupt. Now he takes a loan out.
Scouter shows up. We had no wins yet, right? He shows up. Unfortunately, he had to like hop off because he had to go to sleep. We won 7 times, so it's like $35 right off the bat, and I was like, I can't sustain this. we win too much.
Like, please leave.
I'm gonna start sending Scouter an invoice.
I joked with him as like, he's just gonna ban me on chat next time he's playing Fortnite. Just ban me.
No, it's cool. I mean, like, it's going to charity, so I really don't mind. I was just like, I didn't expect to win that much, because usually when he comes in, we'll like maybe 1 or 2 times, and that's great, But then we won 7, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, it's been
my wallet hurts, but my heart is full.
Yeah, 7 months since you started the full Fortnite thing, so maybe that's
So just a little bit of lore since the last time I was here. Scouter is, for as much flack as we give him, he's been a great good luck charm for me in Fortnite.
Yeah, I just wish
but I've been playing a lot of the Save the World content, like the pure PvE stuff. World of Warships I've been playing a lot of. And I play a lot of friend slop games lately, like Repo and Are We There Yet? Like those games. I just love having fun with my friends.
That was with me.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I wish my luck was like that in video games as well.
I was gonna say, I wish I had friends.
Yeah, that too.
Oh.
3 of them are here.
I gotta say, I haven't seen Beskar in forever, so it's good to see you.
Yeah,
it has. I've lurked in a couple streams, but just haven't had a whole lot of time to pop in too much. So I'm there in spirit.
Yeah. Beskar, what have you been playing lately?
I was supposed to play stuff.
Yeah, you play video games, right? I think so.
I did a little bit. You know, the usual banter, a little bit of Battlefield 6, was playing some Insurgency the other day. A little more Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which, Scouter, you had asked before what some of the differences were between the first one and the second one. So I was kind of looking at it a little bit because I still never beat the first one. But, so obviously you have a bigger world. The combat is a little more simplified, but it's still kind of a fun puzzle. Like I said, you can't just go in and just hack away like nothing's wrong, because you'll lose all your stamina and then you'll get taken out quickly. But there's some fun things you can do, some combos you can learn, some different tricks. The NPCs will actually react to like your clothes and stuff. Like if you were just in a fight and then you walk into a town and you talk to someone, or someone will just be walking by and ask like, "Are you okay? You have blood everywhere," and you can either respond to them, be like, "Oh no, that's fine," or you can kind of berate them. But yeah, like certain things, if you're dressed in more noble clothes, they'll treat you differently than if you're in like thieves' clothes or something like that. I'm not sure if it was in the first one or not, but I know if you steal some items, but then you wear them on your person as you're walking around, sometimes if somebody notices, they'll get the guard and you'll be stopped for theft. So little differences there to just kind of make the world a little more alive. And so yeah, there's definitely some differences. It's a really fun game. I recommend, if you're interested at all, or if you played the first one, definitely checking it out. I played Mega Man 2 for the first time in an archipelago. I don't know if you guys know much about archipelago or not, but basically it's a big randomizer, and the big feature is you can have multiple games and it will put items into other games. So like, for example, we had, I think, 10 of us, and if I found one of the E-tanks in Mega Man 2, like let's say Scouter, you were playing Super Mario 64, one of the people was playing that. Maybe I find that E-tank and I get you a power star. Maybe KKR, you're playing some other people were playing Super Mario World. I actually unlocked the spin jump for someone by finding an item in Mega Man 2. So it's really neat how it's interconnected, and you can do it yourself. You can play, the different games and have to try to unlock things, or you can get a group of people together and it will mesh all of those randomizers in. And they have a lot of settings as well for what you can randomize. Since it's the first time I've ever done it, I've played Mega Man 2 a few times, but I don't know it well enough. But I think you can randomize like what enemy types there are, what bosses, in a stage, what weaknesses for the bosses and stuff like that. So there's a lot you can do with it, and some really neat things that can be done. So I definitely recommend checking out Archipelago and seeing all they're adding new games pretty regularly, and there's some like untested ones. So
Are they all for like retro games, or like?
There's a list. As we're talking, I'll try to find it really quick and kind of put it up the website for it. But like, it's not just like somebody was playing Subnautica. I know that one's not, brand new, but it's at least newer. Let me just find.
We can put a link in the description below.
Yeah. I'll get that and I'll throw it in. Let's see. What's real quick the most recent one that I can see? Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, Blasphemous, Civilization 6, Dark Souls 3. So there's not, it's not all just pixel games, old games, stuff like that. So it's pretty intricate and pretty cool. There's for you guys to take a peek at, but it's a really neat system. Oh, they added Mega Man 3. Look at that. Cool.
Even perfect.
Now we know what you're gonna play next time.
Yeah.
Right. But what's really crazy is one of the guy who was kind of hosting it, he did Dark Souls 3. And for example, in Mega Man 2, there's 44 checks. So basically, you can either beat the game and that'll unleash all the checks or unlock all the checks, or you can do them individually. So Mega Man 2 has 44. Dark Souls 3 has 1,469. So you can have a variety of how many things you need to try to complete. And he didn't end up getting every single one of those items by themselves. He got to a certain point where he got the items in his game that he could beat the game. And again, that unlocked all the checks. So yeah, didn't mean to make this a little archipelago ad, but I just thought it was really interesting and a neat way to kind of integrate multiple games together.
We should tag Archipelago in the description too.
Ooh, I like it.
This is not sponsored, by the way.
Yeah,
Not yet. Not yet.
Ooh, I like the conditional there.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think that's gonna be relevant to what we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a good. Oh, look at that, Scott. What games did you play?
Segue.
Dang,
Sorry,
I should have
what?
went last.
What Nutmeg?
No, I was just saying what's a good segue. What games are you playing?
Sorry, yeah. I've been hopping on Terraria for the first time with my
Terraria?
friend. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a little bit a lot. And in terms of,
Mhm.
trying to figure out it's just Minecraft, but 2D,
Yeah.
I've been going back a little bit to like Age of Empires, Empire Earth, and I forgot how
Ooh.
great those are.
My goodness.
Also, yeah, playing RV there yet with Luna and KKR. I think I mentioned this on the podcast before. Gamble with Your Friend is out, so I've been playing that
Here he
solo.
goes.
There we go.
Hey, I want to play.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
I
the most
actually do want to play
modern.
that.
That's the most modern game Scouter has ever played. So
Yeah, it
don't
is.
don't punish him too much.
You're not wrong. And
No, you
so-
played Resident Evil when it came out.
Oh yeah,
That's
a
modern.
little bit out. Yeah, that's true.
That's the first modern good game you played.
Wow, okay. All right, buddy. But no, that it's been super. It's silly, and I also found another friend of mine also has it, and I DM'd her as well. And I gifted it to Nutmeg knows to Lily, which I can gamble in her chat, so this was kind of a joke for her. So I'm hoping to also play with Lily and maybe Nar and try to get a group
You
together.
can gamble in her chat, and now you're actually going to gamble. I think there's something underlying here that we should.
All right, so this
That's what I keep saying.
So anyway,
this podcast has now turned into an intervention.
Yeah.
Scouter, let's have a chat.
Yeah, no. It's I love it. It's great. It's silly. They have some stuff.
No,
It's
I love
great.
the first thing that happens when you open the game.
Do you flip a coin?
Remember?
You flip a coin
Yeah.
in order to play the game. You say, "Are you feeling lucky?" If you say yes, then it has to land on like heads, and if it doesn't, then the game shuts itself off. And that's awesome. You can say no to actually play the game, but I didn't also realize that. But it's more fun to say yes, and it's just amazing.
I know when he
Just
did that on
clever.
stream, it was hilarious because it's just right. It just shuts the game down.
Just shuts the game down. It's amazing. I love it. And they do have actual gambling helpline too. So that's also awesome that they hopefully convince people if they're addicted to it to get help.
I have a really quick joke that I heard from someone when we went to an open mic night, and it perfectly aligns with this. He said the best way that you could get people or help their gambling addiction is put up a billboard that says, call whatever the number is to get help gambling. Bet you won't.
Yeah, there you go. That is.
I mean, if you have that big enough problem that you are.
Stop it.
Hey, I stole it from someone. I wish I could remember his name because he had a really good set, but that was 12 years ago. I don't know. But no, it was, I mean, it's a fair point. If your addiction is so much that you will call a gambling addiction hotline because you were bet, then you should probably be there.
Right.
Anyhow.
Anyways, so we brought friends today because I figured this will be a great topic for all of you guys that are just friends more than just me and Beskar. So we're gonna talk about social media and how we're gonna like use it, how you guys use it, and whether it's like for Twitch or for KKR's case, he does it for business side, whatever the case may be. So I thought this
Spoilers.
was
Gosh.
the what?
I said spoilers.
Yeah,
Gosh.
yeah.
What's KKR going to talk about now?
Yeah, no. So we kind of start off of like, so how have you been using social media as a platform for your content? Do you want to go first, Beskar, to start?
Yeah, this will be real short.
Yeah, I was gonna say. That's why I started with you.
I mean, so I really only joined really any social media. Aside, I had a Facebook for a long time because a friend actually set it up years ago. Didn't really do much with it, stayed connected with friends. I had deleted that a while ago. But the only other social media that I really joined, it was when I wanted to start promoting for Extra Life. And I was really only on Twitter for the longest time. But yeah, it was mostly just, hey, I'm doing this charity stream. I'm doing a 24-hour stream. Hey, you want to donate to my campaign? Just little things like that. And then I did a little bit more with, there was one Discord group that I was part of that, they kind of were trying to get gamers together that wanted to play and stuff like that. So I kind of reached out a little bit more with that group. And then I had joined Instagram almost exclusively to enter giveaways, just to have those extra entries. And it actually paid off some. There were a few things that I've won either through Twitter or through Instagram just by entering giveaways. But yeah, I've been busy for quite a while. So I haven't done really much in the way of social media, like definitely not posting myself, but like if I see something from KKR, I'll try to, put it back out there. If I see something from Scouter, I'll try to put it back out there, but I'm just not digging too deep into it a whole lot. So yeah, I mean, I still consume it, but I don't really directly interact with it as much. I know I say it every podcast, but I'll hopefully get back to streaming somewhat soonish. Since I had bought a new PC, it kind of opened up some more games that I can look into. So there might be a couple that I want to finally explore and maybe stream those as well. So I might get back a little bit more into the social media space. But yeah, as it sits right now, it's mostly just, okay, send in friends and stuff, little things here and there, but not really promoting myself, so to speak, as much in regards to social media. So that's even when I streamed more, I was still terrible at it. Like there were a lot of times where I'd start streaming and then Scour would go, "Did you post anything?" I'd be like, "Hang on, time out." Hop on, post something. So Scouter was a good reminder of that, and to try to help remind me to get out there and get more people.
I didn't even see your live posting on Twitter. I was like, "What's going on here?"
You're like, "Oh shoot, yeah, hang on. Oh, the lag here, the delay is a little too bad
right
now." So, but yep, that's kind of where I sit right now.
Nutmeg, how have you been using it?
So I mean, my journey with social media, like just like personally as a person, totally did the MySpace thing. Then I did the Facebook thing. I miss MySpace so much. I was like coding and like doing stuff when I was like 12 years old. I felt so cool. I don't use Facebook or anything for anything streaming related. But when I decided to start streaming and whatever after as I kind of gained momentum towards affiliate, that's when I kind of started using Instagram. I just prefer Instagram. I'm not a Twitter girly. I was in college, but I know a lot of streamers really love Twitter because it's just like instantly out there. Um, but I'm not good at posting updates when I'm live. I don't even think about it. I know there's people out there that use bots or whatever to kind of just automatically trigger a post like, hey, we're live. I can't do that. My brain doesn't work like that. Um, but I primarily use it nowadays just because I've been kind of taking a bit of a break from streaming. I do it a lot to kind of push out like when people are fundraising, like when Scatter's fundraising and, Luna, I repost their stuff and then I just kind of randomly put pictures up there, be like, hey, I'm alive and I'm fine. Um,
Good updates. Good updates.
I do
Yeah.
updates because I'm like, I don't I don't think people really care, but I mean, it's just something to have there. So it kind of shows that it's active. Um, but I do post more around Pride Month because I mean, I year round I fundraise for the Trevor Project, but in June I tend to do a little bit more. So I'm trying to figure out what that's going to look like next month. Um, but I do it in case people, because I have had people that like have popped into chat like, hey, like I found you on Instagram and like I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, thank you. But I primarily do a lot of reposting for the Trevor Project and like LGBTQ stuff. That's what I'm really using it for now. And then when I do more like fundraisers or if there's anything going on in the world, I just try to make my page a safe space. So I repost a lot of stuff right now.
That's fair. And then KKR is probably the biggest of us three. So
No.
so how have you been using, the business side and your streaming side to really, how do you use social media for your content, whether it's the business side or whether it's social media of your Twitch or whatever?
Yeah, it's interesting because ever since I started my business, I've started to put them all together, right?
Yeah.
So I'll share some of the things I've done on stream, um, like on LinkedIn, for example, and then vice versa. If I have something that I've done IRL, I'll share it on like Twitter or Instagram. But primarily it's to like share highlights of streams. Like I love, especially when I play with friends, like the funny things that happen. I love watching blooper reels myself. So I'm like, I think other people would like to see like how much fun we have when we stream together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like those "Are We There Yet" clips that I put on TikTok, for example, or YouTube Shorts. Like we had a friend who claimed he could drive, and then disaster.
Man, crazy when that happens.
So I mean that's it. I want people to know what my content is like, especially for those who've not come to my channel. I use it as a way to get people to like discover, my channel.
Mhm.
But also updates to fundraising. Like I want to be able to vary the content, and I think I need to do more variety because it can't just be all highlights. But I also think like if I just put updates up without like calling more upon people to donate, then it's just like, okay, that's nice. For what? you know? So I think that there's how I've been using it and how I want to be able to use it going forward. Um, on the business end of things, I know most of y'all here don't use LinkedIn, but for me,
Mm.
like it's I now have double my followers on Twitch as I do on LinkedIn, meaning like I have double on LinkedIn, right, other way around. Because because I work with not just content creators but other charities and other brands who are interested in this intersection of charities and gaming and content creators, they want to see like proof, I guess, that I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right.
So it's been a good way for me to drum up business, but also just to validate the points that I'm giving, because I think it's still so new to a lot of charities. And I know I talked about this forever. We've been streaming forever, and streaming to fundraise forever, and yet so many charities don't know about it. So I think that's another thing, is just to share my experience with other charities, other brands who want to support each other. And the only way I can do that is by telling those stories on social media.
Well, I would also really quick just add in that, I always forget about LinkedIn just because I've been at the same job for 5 years. I don't, I'm not looking a whole lot there, but with LinkedIn, that's definitely more of a focused social media. I don't even think of LinkedIn as a social media, but it absolutely is. I mean, it's a networking and all that. And obviously with your business being almost exclusively about networking, that's obviously a very, very good location for you to bring, like you said, all that information that, kind of, here's what I'm doing, here's the proof of what we're working on and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a connection I never even would have made without you saying that. And like you said, kind of housing your business very much in kind of that home base there, and branching out from that, obviously having links to other forms of social media to that. So yeah, no, it's a really good point.
And there's knock-on effects too for other content creators that I work with. If I know their LinkedIn and I work with them on like an event with a client, it fuels their growth too, because then they get invited to work with other charities or other opportunities as well. So it's just like, and I think we'll touch on this later, but it's how do you leverage it for not just yourself but for others too.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Fair. Yeah, for me, fun fact, I don't talk about this much, but I started with like Twitter, or at least with social media, and like myself personally I was MySpace and stuff, but like when I was in college, I did radio, and so Twitter was booming at that point, or starting, or it was popular, so I was like, hey, I gotta get on that board. And my account right now was the Twitter account I had, and I just renamed it. So fun fact, this is still the OG Twitter of when I started. And then I kind of started a forums group online, and that's kind of how my name got started, as Scouter, in that forum group, and then just boomed out until there. Like trying to expand with TikTok and stuff. I got to get with the kids. It's just like KKR
What's
was.
a TikTok?
What's a TikTok?
Wait,
Yeah.
Wait. May I interrupt?
Yeah.
I have a Scouter TikToks anecdote for you.
What?
Oh.
So, I was on your stream, right,
Yeah.
Scouter, and we were talking about TikTok and distractions, because Abstract was talking about something, and I said, it's distracting, and I mentioned her videos, and she didn't know what I was talking about, but Scouter immediately picked up on the yeah, no, I don't use TikTok. I'm like, you don't use TikTok, but you know what videos I'm talking about? So I think he's like secretly like scrolling right now as I'm talking.
Oh, I
Just
send
has it up
Scatter
on one
TikToks all the time.
Mm.
I don't know if he looks at them, but I send them to him.
I do. But the thing is the fact that yeah, it's just mostly I gotta get it with. It's just easy when someone clips it. You just put that on TikTok and boom. You at least have a few hundred. At least I've checked like hundreds of views. I'm like, well, okay, this is actually a pretty easy platform to connect to. At least try to. It doesn't hurt. It's just a click of a button on Twitch that you could click for your clips. So it's really cool. And I think like just using Instagram, like what Nutmeg said, of just I try. I don't use that very often, but when I do it from like my Twitch, is like it's gonna be World Ocean event or Orcatober, or obviously retweeting World Ocean Fest by World WDC, so that way people that follow me at least know what like this upcoming Orcatober is gonna be and what upcoming World Ocean Fest is gonna be. In that way, I gotta hopefully get some people hyped about it, and at least like maybe get a few like a streamer or two to help do it as well. So that's even better. But so yeah,
I think I think you reminded me of something in that I don't have consistent content across all my social media.
Yeah,
Like LinkedIn, I have a
that's
specific purpose for that, like partnerships, business.
right.
Twitter, man, Twitter's just a garbage fire for me. It used to be like my
Yeah,
Yeah,
number one thing, but
100%.
yeah,
it's dead
the
now.
algorithm didn't change, but I'm not going to pay $3 to promote my stuff a
Mhm.
month,
No, not a
But
chance.
Instagram, I used to cross post Instagram and Twitter, but now I just put food pictures on Instagram.
Yeah,
That's become like my food blog, social media.
I
So
used
in
to
a
do.
way, yeah,
Yeah, I used to do if this then that is an app that you could use, which I'm not sure if any of you are familiar, but it's basically you can set it up where if you go live, it pulses a tweet for you.
That's what it was called. I did
Yeah,
do
I
that
did
for a
do
little
that for a little
while.
bit, but then I just stopped. I was just like, well, just in case I have a test stream or because
Mm.
I'm sure you can customize it in some capacity. I just
I'm sure at
never
this point you have to pay like
three about that.
$400
Yeah.
to.
Anyways, but anyways, next
um,
question.
This episode of Robot Attack is brought to you by MGA Fundraising. MGA isn't your typical NPC. As a nonprofit consultant with over 20 years of experience in both the nonprofit and creator space, MGA will work with your charity to produce and execute innovative fundraising campaigns designed to engage gamers and content creators. Let MGA be the NPC in your quest for fundraising success. Ready to level up your impact? Visit mgafundraisingllc.com. MGA Fundraising, where we put the fun in fundraising. Now, back to Robot Attack.
So the next question I like to ask is like, how have you been using social media as a platform for your content? So I know we kind of no, sorry, we already answered that. Sorry. How do you use social media to connect with others? So we kind of connected on that a little bit. KKR, we could start with you since you're that.
yeah. Um, so as I mentioned
Right
before,
now.
it's partially to get people who have never met, right, to look at my content and say, this could be fun. Let's drop into his chat or his stream. But more often than not, I'd say like 80-90% is it's to connect with people I already know.
Right.
So mutual friends, contacts, people I've met. I just interact with them off stream because, I only see them streaming 2-3 hours a day, but this is a way for me to keep in touch throughout. But I got to say, for places like Twitter, like Discord has replaced it for me in that regard. I rarely post on Twitter just to like comment anymore. I'll just DM them on Discord or put in a relevant channel. Again, Twitter sucks. So
Yeah. There. And then Nutmeg, how have you been using, social media for like connecting with other people?
I'm trying to think of a way to answer it and see like what the difference is between the
Yeah.
questions. I think I'm just having a brain fart.
Okay, we could come back if you want.
Welcome to the podcast.
No, I got it.
All
I
right.
got it.
That's fine.
So kind of similar to like KKR, like yeah, I mean, I would think that the goal would be like, come into my stream, we have a good time. I have Leon edits, like that's kind of like
Sold.
it. But I think the other thing is like when I look at people that I would like to follow, because a lot of the people that I do follow on Twitch or on anything, like I also follow them on Instagram, A, because I'm nosy. I want to see what you're doing. And B, like I think that's a good way to connect with other streamers and just support each other on that way. And I think for me personally, like when I post things, like and what I look for is like just a level of authenticity. Like there's definitely people out there that they just have such beautiful, cohesive pages, and that is not me. Like my
yeah,
Instagram is a bit of a dumpster fire. You can see
What are you talking
sometimes I'm
about?
just like,
There's Roger on there. Come on, that can't be that bad.
no, my son is the highlight of my life. He is not the
Yeah.
dumpster fire. It's actually funny because you can see when I actually got used to using Canva. So like when I first started, you see my schedule when I was streaming 3 to 4 times a week and all that kind of stuff, and you see like the progression of what I actually wanted to put out there and what I wanted other people to see. And I think now that I'm just really posting updates, like I like to see on Instagram and wherever that like streamers, I mean, we're just people, right? Like I care about people's morals and their
social media, and all of that is in Discord. You know, like they do a lot of events, and so they'll put up, hey, you know, we need this many people who wants to sign up for this time slot. And I've been able to drive down there a few times and attend some of those events. But yeah, so absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Did you click the link?
Yeah.
Called it. Anyway, we lost Nutmeg.
It's not available. Why did you share that with me?
It's a pre-order. You pre-order it and then or is it?
Oh, it's not out yet. It says not available. You just gave me something I can't have. That's messed up.
You can't have yet. You keep forgetting that word. Yet.
It's a tease. It's a tease.
But I didn't realize that they didn't have it up for pre-order. I remember seeing that the other day. And anyhow, sorry to raise your hopes and then
the disappointment I see in that big
right. It went from pure elation to just complete and utter just.
Scouter, shut up.
That was KKR. That was me.
That was me.
Oh, okay, that's fine. It's still Scouter's fault. Okay, great.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fair.
Also, another way that I connect through social media is with these people.
Yeah.
Get to see this live. But yeah, so I've met other people from Extra Life through Discord, some through Twitter, but mostly through Discord. So that's been the biggest point where I have you know, connected with people through some kind of social media, and still do, you know, to this day. Like we have meetings every month, and most of the time they're on Discord, but sometimes they meet at the hospital, and somebody's actually brought either their phone or a laptop along and opened it up and made a Discord call so I could still join in, you know, with the meeting and stuff like that. So having the internet and having social media for that aspect has been huge. And that's a really neat benefit of, again, being able to connect with other people instantly from no matter where you're sitting. You know, the simple fact that the four of us aren't in the same room, let alone, you know, even within a couple miles from each other, it still blows my mind that we can do things like this and have these conversations without having to go, okay, everybody, let's all drive 6 hours and meet up at this spot. You know, that'd be awesome, but it's not practical for, you know, the everyday life. So maybe in like 40 years when we're all retired and, you know, we don't have anything better to do, we can meet up somewhere and, you know, game in person. But
man, I hope I retire in less than 40 years, but
I was gonna say.
Yeah. Agreed. I'm shooting for like 2 more years. A lot of crazy things. I'm gonna have to win a lot more giveaways for that to happen.
I'm glad that I'm not the only one who, as you just mentioned, are making more connections through Discord, because Discord used to be at the bottom of my funnel, right? Usually it'd be like all the other social media, I get invited to a Discord, etc. But now it's the other way around. Now the people I meet on Discord, I'm getting to like invite me to other places, you know. So
Makes sense.
it's interesting how the funnel flipped, at least for me, you know.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting observation.
I
I
think.
didn't even think about Discord. I'm sorry, Scouter.
No, go ahead.
I didn't even think about Discord within the context of social media, because I just think about it as like just a way to communicate. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's really what social media is, right? It's just ways of making connections and communication. I've met like so many people through no, I mean, that's how
How did you
Scouter
guys
and I
meet?
met.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Tell me more.
let me tell you.
I want
So
this. I want this lore.
we met through so just Lely, when she was Lely 21, she created a Let's Grow Together page. So it was just like small time streamers, and I met her through a mutual person stream, and her and we just clicked. And I was like, I love her so much. So I was streaming one day, and then Scouter came into one of my streams when it's funny that I was playing Resident Evil 4 when he came into my stream, which like tracks for us. And he just like starts talking to me, and you just see my face like completely change because I'm like, this is a man in my stream. Nobody else is watching. And I actually do feel really bad about this because until you get to know me, like I have some RBF. I'm just going to be so real. And my husband was modding for me. So I was here, my husband was next to me, and I was like, who is Scouter715? Can you look at his channel? Can you make sure he's a person? And my husband was like, he's cool, he streams. And I'm like, okay. And then that was it. And now I'm a parasite, and I send him TikToks and Instagram reels, and our birthday's a day apart.
Yeah.
So we've been like inseparable ever since.
Can't get rid of her.
Sorry.
That's fine.
I can't, no, you can't get rid of
This is
me.
my
Do you
fault
want a
now.
crowbar? Or...
All right. Yeah.
Just like a parasite, a leech.
It's fine. That's what I signed up for. No, I was gonna say
love
like
that.
Nutmeg stole my thing, but it's fine. But like basically
What?
like yeah, I was
What?
gonna say
So
it.
what?
Yeah. Well, so I think for me, this is where my advantage is just trying to find streamers myself of whether they post in someone else's Discord and not try to be creepy about it, but it ends up unfortunately.
You weren't creepy.
I
You
try
weren't.
not to
I was
be.
just a
And so yeah, she like when Lily, for example, posted on like Grow Together, I'm like, oh great, I could try to meet some new people and connect with them. And like I met Nutmeg, I met so many people. I can't even list them all. They're so amazing people, and I'm still connecting with people in that Discord of just checking them out and following them and say, hey, I met you on this thing, and hope the best. They might check me out is my goal is just basically like just chat with them, and then oh, you stream, and then do you stream? Yeah, cool. I try not to plug myself into their stream,
You
but
don't.
yeah,
You're a
but
good noodle.
yeah, no, I just like those people of like posting in Discord, just trying to connect with other people, and then like sometimes I even have auto shoutouts for me. I'm like, I don't even know how I even ended up with you doing this, but sure, I'll check. It doesn't hurt for me to lurk in your chat, and like, hey, I'm okay with putting up a tab out for you of checking out your stream while you're streaming and say hi, try to interact. But that's where my disadvantage is I'm not very much of an active talker in chat, but once I do, like, depends on what they're playing, what they're doing, and like how crazy the chat is, or even like this blue sky. Like blue sky is new. This random person follow. Like you gotta be careful with bots too. So it's like, is this person a bot or not? So it's just like playing the field of checking people out, saying hi, showing up. For me, I show up to people's chat and just try to connect with them in their community. Then we could collaborate together. Like even Glenna's friend, we just played Dead Sassy together yesterday, and we're playing every week now. So it's like like how did this even happen? So it's like it's crazy how like this. I think it just how like having a charity helps, and having this like back of a community together really does help with like connecting with others. So it's like, hey, I found you through Lily, I found you through like X, Y, and Z. So it's like at least to not be creepy anymore, to try to resolve that of at least that's what I try to do if I see their posts or whatever. And anything that WDC, anybody who streams for them, I try to follow them. Like, hey, I'm a member too. So like having that community as well, just like being part of these charities that we all three of us do think like connecting with their discords and stuff really does help out your individual aspect. So yeah, and then so we got a couple more questions. So I know we're fairly short already on time. We only have a few minutes. So how do you yeah, speedrun. How do you get like others to like share and like your posts, and we'll combine these. How about that? And then like what's a great way to expand your network, do you think? So
Oh,
Nutmeg.
expand. I read that as explain.
Explain.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't spell.
Explain your network.
How do you expand
I
your
actually
network?
I had an answer for that.
I'm sorry, I can't spell. Nutmeg. How do you like get others to share or expand your network? How do you?
I mean, I just hope people do it. Like, I don't it's really weird. Like, when I saw that question, I was like, I don't post in hopes of it being shared. I feel like it makes sense for, people like us that fundraise, and maybe it's just because I haven't put that kind of content out. It's like try to get like awareness and a sense of community and, hey, come hang out with us. It's a fundraiser. Um, when I was doing my Trevor Project fundraiser last year, I don't know if that option was even there for Instagram because I feel like the repost is relatively new. I don't know. Um, but I think, I mean, it's cool when people do it. I like it. I don't even think about it like doing it for others. So like when you were doing Orcatober, I was like, hell yeah, like I'm gonna post this to my story, and I'm also gonna, I say retweet like it's what's that other one? Twitter. It's not. And I did it for Luna because I think she fundraises for To Write Love on Her Arms all year. So I do it for other people, but I don't know how to get people to do that for me. And I think part of that is like we already have such a cute little community together. I think we just naturally support each other. So I feel like if like KKR saw my post, he would be like, oh, like, let's share this, and like vice versa. And what's the second question?
Oh, I was just saying like I gotta scroll
How do
up.
we expand it?
Like how do you expand, like how do you feel like you're gonna expand it or try to connect like
There's, this question, you can really like, you can go deep into the algorithm if you really wanted to. Like, you could look up different hashtags when they peak, all that kind of stuff. Some people are super into that. Um, I'm not. I'm just kind of like impatient.
yeah.
But I don't even know if hashtags are still working. I still use hashtags. I think Instagram actually did put a limit on them now. You can only put 5 or so. But that's what I do, and I try to vary it. But I do think like the best way to expand is just utilizing different platforms. Like we were talking about TikTok earlier. I definitely post some funny clips there. And then also I'm part of a stream team, so we do have Blue Sky as well, because everybody has like their little thing that they like. I know Scouter really likes Twitter, so it's like you're more likely to run into Scouter 715 if you're on Twitter, and everybody's just so different. So I think kind of just like expanding what you're posting on, depending on what age range or what kind of people you're trying to find, is probably the best way to do it.
KKR, how do you feel about those questions as well?
I want to touch on the hashtag usage for a sec because
Yeah.
that has changed a lot for how I used to use it.
Yeah.
I used to use it to get more, potential views on whatever I'm posting. But now I don't see it as effective. I'll use hashtags so that
Agreed.
the charities that I work with can monitor that, but it's no longer for me about like acquisition or discovery, you know. But that's just to get people onto the post. But the question is like, how do I get people to share or like that post? Well, similar to Nutmeg, I think we have a lot of similar experiences. We have community and friends who we can trust that they will reshare or repost. Like Beskar Snake said, if he sees something that I post or Scouter posts, he'll like and repost as well. And so I think that's like the first layer. We would have people we know who can boost our signals, so to speak. But for people who don't know us yet, or maybe just as an acquaintance, it's a little harder, because you can ask. Some people will say likes or shares appreciated or something like that. Instead, what I'll do is I'll just put a link and say, if you want to learn more, or if you want to know more about what I'm doing, click here. Just try the simple call to action. Plus, there's character limits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just hope that the things that I post are something that people like. But I gotta say, working in marketing and communications, just the likes are no longer enough. I think for brands, especially if you're looking for sponsors or potential partners, they view things like views and likes as what they call vanity metrics because they're relatively easy to achieve. What they're looking for is your engagement rate and your click-through rate. Like when you say, how do you quantify how much people like or share your stuff? That's what they're looking for. That's harder. That's a harder puzzle for me to solve. Like how do I get people to not just watch it, but watch it long enough for it to matter? You know what I mean? Also, what happened to my lighting? What the heck?
Yeah.
It went dark a
The
little.
sun is setting.
You guys are in
Yes,
the
as
same
soon as I
time
started
zone.
talking about it, the dark. How do I expand? Similar to what we've just talked about, I just like to meet other people. Going to events has been a big thing for me. Like I've met so many people at TwitchCon, with other cons, and mostly through the charity space. Like I'll meet other charity streamers primarily, and we learn about what we're doing, and sometimes we collaborate with each other. So for me, in-person events are a big way to expand my network. But otherwise, I've found great success just hanging out with other friends who meet new friends who introduce me to their friends. Like Scouter,
know a
like
guy.
I did not. Yeah. Like I sometimes I feel like I like I'm back in school. Like I've been friends with someone for so long, then let's say I go away for spring break, and I come back and they're having a party and there's a whole bunch of new people. I'm like, oh hey, who are you guys? And Scouter's like, hey yeah, meet this guy, meet this person, da 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 da. So just being introduced to other folks through mutual friends has been another great way to expand networks.
I will say now you
I never would have met Nutmeg without Scouter.
I now introduce you to another one, Luna, who's now playing with us as well. So
Lunita.
I see her in your stream, and you guys share common interest, and like we're all friends as that as well. So it's like
Define
cool.
friends.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
No, I'm not trying to plug, by the way. It's like really neat to like have other people check out and know like my friendship and my community as well, and
yeah,
glad that
for sure
we all connected with each other as well. Beskar Snake, what have how do you get others to share and like your posts and expanding your network since
So even I've mentioned this before, I know in the podcast, but for me, social media has always been second. Like it's always been if it happens, it happens. Awesome. It's kind of the same way I look at raising money for charity. I'm going to be playing games anyway, so if I can raise some money for charity while I'm playing games, awesome. I kind of look at social media at a different angle, but in the same way, where okay, yeah, if I'm streaming, I'll try to remember to put something up there, or if I'm trying to raise more money, I'll try to put something up there, and I don't really push it too much. There's, I used to in some discords, I'd put in like the self promo, tab channel, and sometimes that would generate some people maybe coming in. Like if I was doing a 24-hour stream, I'd put it in some self-promo channels, and yeah, some other people would show up like, hey, I know you from this Discord, awesome. But yeah, as far as expanding my network, it's never really been something that I have pursued. Like it's like I've said about Twitch. If I could get partner, awesome. That would have to really happen organically for that to even be a chance. And I don't have any. I don't really have a desire like to make partner on Twitch. But yeah, if one day I was streaming and all of a sudden things just went crazy and went haywire, and my views and followers and stuff just exploded, maybe I'd have a different take on it. But like I said, that's never been the reason that I have, that I joined Twitch, that I joined Twitter, that I joined Blue Sky, that I joined, any of these social media. That's why honestly, I know I made a joke about it earlier, but I don't really have a desire to join TikTok because I'm not necessarily looking to expand my viewer base like a crazy amount. And I don't I already have a hard enough time managing putting, like a go live notification up, which again I haven't done in quite a while. But now I've got to add one more layer, to that social media stack. It's not something that has been a huge desire of mine. So, I mean, yeah, if it expands, great. If I find new people through Discords or, on other social media, awesome. I'm always up for, meeting new people, things like that, maybe playing games every once in a while. But I'm not actively trying to grow that to a point where it's like, okay, now this has its own kind of wheels, so to speak. So
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about, what you want out of it, right? Like
Mhm.
if your goal is not to grow, then, the way you use it is, for your own personal, as a kind of like a hobby almost, but it's for you to share amongst your friends, and that's
yeah,
fine. I think what I've seen a lot of though is, especially on Twitter, because it is a garbage fire. There's a bunch of people who are like, "Oh, I can never get like these kind of partners or sponsorships." Blah blah blah. But I'm like, what effort are you putting into that?
yeah,
They're
Mhm.
looking for something specific, and you don't have it. Like where's your media kit? Where's your stats? Like, oh, I don't care about that. It's just a hobby. I'm like, well, don't expect like a
yeah.
professional arrangement. You know?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go online or talk to people
Yeah,
and go, man, I just don't know why I'm not a Twitch partner.
yeah,
I'm not, and like you said, I'm not putting in the time. I'm not doing.
right. Yeah.
I don't know. Is it still cool to do subathons, or has that gone away? Like,
You
I
can
know
still
that
do them.
was,
Oh,
I
shit.
You
know
can still
that
do them. Yeah.
was the big, oh, here's my partner push. I'm not, stopping, and I mean, I'm interested in a 24-hour stream. That's
Yeah.
my hard cutoff.
Right.
Like, but I wouldn't go out there and say, man, Twitch just doesn't even care about me when, yeah, I haven't streamed in how long, or when I do stream, it's for an hour, or, hour and a half or something like that. And yeah, I'm not putting in the legwork. So it's, it, it's not just going to be handed to me
Right.
on a platter. And if it, I mean,
Yeah.
again, like I said, if it does, if one day I go and I stream and all of a sudden, like whoever the top Twitch streamer just happens to raid my channel or something like that, and things just go through the roof, okay, maybe I'll look into it a little bit more. But that's, yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
that's not the goal for me. Where obviously for you, if you don't expand that network and keep growing, that could have poor consequences on
Yeah.
how you pursue things and all of that.
Right. And it's all about your goals. And I think that
Mhm.
shapes how you approach it. So yeah, obviously I have different goals than the folks in this
Yep.
room here. And that's fine. So I'm not gonna lecture anybody on that. But it's just like some of the entitlement I read on social media, I'm just like, scroll away.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I know, like, not to rant about that too much, but there's
Yeah.
someone, and I'm sure Scouter will absolutely, this will put a light bulb in his brain. They're, people that you'd see and they do a stream and then they would post, well, I guess nobody really cares about charity or something.
Wow.
And, would just always kind of have that sort of attitude. And it's just like, that's not really making me want to support you and things like that. I get it. You stream, nobody shows up. Yeah, it can be disheartening. But also, yeah, going on online and like I said, Scouter might remember at least one. You do, whether or not you know exactly who I'm talking about. I honestly can't even remember their name, so it'd be hard for me to describe. But they would do that all the time, and I'd just be like, "You're raising money for charity. If you raise 50 cents, you've done well. If you just go online, at least you tried." Like,
Scouter can bleep the name out if you say it.
Honestly, unless it, because this was like 6-7
are they
years
even
ago.
active anymore?
I have no idea. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
one of the few people that I actually have blocked on Twitter. So I'm like, I don't want this negativity. I don't.
Right.
I honestly wish I could remember so I could even just send Scouter a message and be like, oh, it was this person. But so I don't want to call them out anyway.
Yeah.
But I can't because they've
Right.
the memory of what they did is still stuck in my head, but obviously not the actual person. Anyway, I'm going off on too much. Scouter, how do you look to expand your social media network? And
I mean, just starting off with TikTok, I think is a step, even though it's not what I like to do. It's just, might as well use it. But like, I think just keep doing what I'm doing, I guess. In terms of just trying to connect with others in Discord and like following random people that post in like, oh, I'm going live today. I'm like, okay, I saw you in Let's Grow Together. Hey, how's it going? I'm Scout, or whatever. And like, okay, that's cool. Or if they have an event coming up and stuff like that, it's like, I'll show up and support them. And I think like I'm getting better at collaboration. So like collaborating with KKR or Luna or Nutmeg, like, your community sees me playing with you, then I'm gonna check out this guy. He seems fun and he's a great person. So like, yeah, I think that helps. Bribing also helps, is just paying people off and telling them to like posts. Yeah. So anyways, yes, you can.
Okay, I didn't want to cut you off and be
It's
rude.
fine.
Just like kind of as we're talking about social media, I think sometimes we really need to be, especially like younger generations that are on, and I just was thinking of this while you were talking, Snake, about, the person. Everybody posts things that they regret. So also just like being mindful of our digital footprint, right? People do things for certain reasons, and maybe that was a really crappy day for them. I'm not condoning them, but it's just like, just be mindful of what you post and how you word things, because
Yeah.
intention is irrelevant. People are going to take it the way that they're going to take it. Especially as you're looking to build a community, we're all people. We all look at life through a different lens. And that lens colors our world and our perception and everything. So if like people are looking to social media to build themselves, which I mean makes sense. That's how people build their brand and that's how they connect with people. Just remember that even if you go back and you delete something, it's still there. I'm sure somebody has a screenshot. So just being, I would like to think that people are more knowledgeable and understanding of the risks of social media. There's just as many risks as there are benefits. But especially for like newer streamers, like just be careful. Be yourself, be your authentic person, because that's what people are going to be drawn to. And I always tell people, like, just like as a therapist, it's just like, if you post something, it may completely turn somebody off of you. So if you're feeling some kind of way, don't post about it. Keep it in your drafts. write it somewhere else, because I would hate, because we can't judge somebody off of like one thing. I don't think that's fair. Um, and we're gonna do that. We're people. We're gonna protect ourselves. So I just want everybody to be careful in this new digital age, especially with AI and everything. I don't know how that's related, but I just feel like I had to say AI.
Ah.
There's good sides of it. Crazy.
AI.
Anyways,
Are you real?
But yeah, just be careful.
yeah.
I think that's the biggest takeaway. Be careful, do it the way that you want to do it, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, one fast little bit on that, and I completely agree with you, absolutely 100%. Because yeah, if it's one day, absolutely, like you said, everybody has bad days. You might have a bad week, and I looked at it like that for a little while, and then it just started going in my head. I'm like, okay, Extra Life is about raising money for charity, about expanding the network for charity. Like I've said plenty of times on here before, if one person comes into my stream that's never heard of Extra Life before and I get to explain Extra Life to them, I've done my job. Like, even if they don't donate anything, and now one more person in the world knows about Extra Life. Who knows? There was a guy I met at a convention that he streamed, and he was like, "Hey, what's this Extra Life thing?" We told him about it. I ended up following him. He ended up joining a page as he was walking, like starting his own Extra Life campaign as he was walking around the convention, and stopped back by the booth to say, "Hey, look." So I followed him on Twitch, to watch, and just those little things. The problem where it got to be, it was every single post, every single day, and I went in my head, and I didn't call them out. I didn't say, "Oh, you're a terrible person. You shouldn't do this." I just went, you know what? I don't really like kind of how you're representing Extra Life, and I don't want somebody who's maybe starting out in either just streaming or Extra Life to see that person and go, I don't really want to join Extra Life, because that doesn't really seem like a welcoming place and stuff like that. And it definitely put a sour taste in my mouth specifically towards that person. And I would never judge them by themselves, but I would just say their online presence I didn't really jive with, and I didn't really like. And like I said, I haven't even looked them up in however many years. So maybe things have completely changed. I have no clue. But yeah, anyway, okay, yep, I'm off my soapbox again.
It's fine. Well, anyways, do we have time for one more, or should we move on to the end? I don't know what you guys do in time.
I think we could knock out KKR's. I think that one's relatively quick.
Yeah.
Because it's more like just a list, kind of, and a little,
right, yeah,
maybe a list and maybe like one or two sentences.
we
wide.
didn't. I know most of it. So the last question is like, which social media ones do you use? Which we kind of did mention, but which ones do you not use and why? But I know both of us, that question we kind of did answer. So I guess if anyone wants to like add to what that question is, since most of us I think covered why, and so anyone want to just leaving this open?
I mean,
I'll be completely honest. I don't even know, other than like TikTok, what other social medias are out there, just because I haven't looked. I'm sure there are new ones coming up every day that you just don't hear about because they're not the big three or whatever. They're not Twitter, Twitch, Discord, TikTok, things like that. So I'll answer the question where I honestly don't even know what else is out there. So I have said the ones that I use and don't use because those are the only ones that I know about.
I think for me, Blue Sky is something I don't really use, but I should. I know a lot of the charities that I work with are on it, and they're my main like target audience. So I should be on there. It's just, man, just time. Because I feel like I'm starting over from scratch. Like, it took me how many years to get to where I'm at? Not far, but still where I'm at.
I force
And,
you.
If you're 3 steps ahead, that's still 3 steps you got to make up.
Yeah,
I force you into Blue Sky.
You did?
I have an account.
I did.
I don't think about it as much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's one channel that I haven't been using, but really should.
Yeah.
TikTok is a recent one for me. Like, I only started posting on there once I learned how to post vertical clip on YouTube Shorts. Because before I would just upload something on YouTube, trying to because I thought it was a YouTube short, and then it was posted as like a regular video. I'm like, how do I do this? And once I learned I could do that on YouTube, I started doing it on TikTok. But it's funny because like the numbers are wildly different
Mhm.
between the same video I'll put on TikTok and on YouTube. Very different performance.
I've heard. I think it's another thing that subconsciously has kind of turned me away from TikTok. I've heard weird things about the views. Like I don't have any evidence or anything, but I've just heard that a lot of times they're like overly inflated. Sometimes, not always, but and like I said, I have no.
I think it's because the promotion tool on TikTok is relatively cheap. For $10, you can fuel a ton of more views into other people's feeds.
See, I didn't even know about that. So that's one aspect that I had no idea about. Huh.
I'll say this. I think for any of my big fundraising pushes later in the year, like Extra Life Game Day, for example, I will spend $10 to push something. I think it's worth the investment.
I mean, that makes sense.
You know, but yeah, YouTube, I don't have that option. You know, so nevertheless, I get more views on YouTube than I do on TikTok. Just overall.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have like 25,000 on YouTube, only 10,000 on TikTok because I don't spend on TikTok.
Yeah.
Anyway, stats aside, I'm just noting that there's very different. You put the same content on two different places, and you have very different results. It's very interesting. Yeah.
Nutmeg, did you want to chime in or?
I mean, I kind of like already mentioned that I use Instagram. When I joined my stream team, I got a Blue Sky. I don't really use it. I do post on Threads sometimes. I do kind of like cross post on Threads a little bit. I kind of just like whine on there if I'm being so for real. So actually don't look at that. But for streaming, I primarily use Instagram. I use Discord. I have a Discord. But anything, I mean, when I'm not working or being a human, I do have like a writing Facebook page. So I do use that every now and again. I kind of just post there and then I'll link to my Wattpad. But that's also something I don't do as often as I should, but primarily it's Instagram.
Yeah.
Really quick side note. I'm going to say the oldest thing I think I've ever said on this stream or on this podcast. I somehow accidentally, I think, got Threads. I still do not understand how on earth it's any different than anything else.
I think
it's not
as force. I think it was something along with, if I remember correctly, I had to create one for Instagram for some reason or something. So that's probably why. If you had
what's the difference?
I think
like I said, get off my social media alone. But what's the difference?
I think it's linked to Facebook, but Facebook.
I don't even have a Facebook.
Yeah.
You don't?
No, I don't. I still, like I said, I had one for a while and then I deleted it. I don't even remember how long ago now. But no, I still don't have one yet. I somehow have this Threads and I'll get notifications every once in a while to be like, hey, look here. And I'm like, oh, that's something different.
That's a thing. Yeah.
Facebook has been an interesting experience for me as a streamer because I rarely post on there for personal stuff, but for fundraisers, like Extra Life specifically has a Facebook integration.
Oh yeah,
I get so much more money from family that posts
tell me that
donates through Facebook.
I don't want to go on Facebook again. I want to go back.
I just deactivated it, please.
No,
I'm not going to leave money on the table there. So
fair, touche. Can't argue with that.
But I guess that's what I'm saying. If it wasn't for the fact that I was fundraising for my hospital, then I really wouldn't bother with Facebook. Because like, if my family wants to reach out to me, they can reach out to me.
Yeah, right.
Not on Facebook,
right?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add, Scouter? Any other?
I mean, like I said, I try to do like I keep forgetting about Threads, and then like same thing. It like keeps popping up every once in a while for Instagram. But like, I mean, I think for me personally, Yeah, Twitter. It's just I'm already kind of done with social media in general because it's just like at this point in my career for streaming and stuff, it's like I already like peaked in terms of I already have these many followers and this many followers on Blue Sky, this many followers, etc. So it's like for me now that's like I already have this foreground. It's like, well, I'm not really getting any more followers at this point on any other platforms unless
Not
I
with that
re
attitude, you're not.
I just feel like I haven't had a non-bot following me in like so long on Twitter. It's just like all for what, you know? So like I think just like focusing on like yeah, I'll keep posting images of World Ocean Fest next month or in a few days and like on Instagram and I'll post it everywhere. And it's even for me like wrapping my head around I forgot to mention this earlier like I post a schedule on Monday of my streaming stuff. Okay, I'm not posting this podcast, for example, on a day I'm streaming because, hey, if I'm streaming at 10 and I make this post at. It's just a mind game for me of, like, I already made this post today of my schedule. I'm not going to post again today because they're going to miss my schedule now and they're going to
Mhm.
see this podcast. So it's like, which is great, which is fine. I'd stream every other day, you know, or rather than focus on this one podcast once a month versus me streaming every day. But yeah, it's just that kind of what gets me going is like, I can't post this today. I am streamed earlier. I can't post it until tomorrow. Like,
Hey, wait,
yes.
why don't you just schedule your upload on
Yeah.
YouTube,
Yeah.
You can
and then
scan
it'll
it.
I
auto.
do. I
Yeah.
do actually. I do actually schedule it, but then I schedule it on a day that I already scheduled streaming because I forget when I scheduled it.
But
It's a mind
That's
game.
okay.
Yeah. I don't know, or just don't post that I'm streaming that day. I don't know. It's
you
a
can
game.
always
It's
post
a
to schedule it the next day.
yeah. It's a game. Yeah, I will. I'm getting better of just remembering like I posted this or I like this tweet of Luna. I can't or retweeted Luna's post. I can't. I want people to, you know. That's what I'm trying to get to of right now. Just trying to get better at that too. Of so
So
I didn't
wait,
answer the
so like
question.
for example, if I'm doing like a stream for Extra Life, and someone else does something for another charity, and you're doing something for another charity,
Right.
all on the same day, you mean
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to retweet
I
all
mean,
of
you
it because it's going to run into
could.
conflict
I just feel like the all the
Algorithm.
algorithm is just
Nutmeg.
so terrible now with just you get so that's what I'm nervous about unless you're like KKR like unless you have to pay for it to get your stuff up there that it's just I'd rather post it and then well there's my chance of and then I'll retweet my own podcast which I'll do so I'll see like wait a couple days and then retweet it so to get more foreground and hopefully get 2 chances at posting it. That's what I need to do as well. But anyways. So yeah, anyways, we're done. How would people find you guys? Like how would people like find you guys? Like KKR, do you have a Twitter? What is that? What is your Twitter and your Twitch and stuff that people can follow you on?
Man, you want the whole
Yeah, I want
roll
everything.
of stuff?
No,
So
I was ending the podcast with you guys telling what you guys are on so people can follow you and watch you.
yes,
Just
yes,
looking for me.
Just looking for me. Yeah, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram as KingKongRong25. And you should be able to. Actually, you can't find me with KingKongRong25 on YouTube, but I'll be happy to put the links in the comments or descriptions when this episode goes.
Basically,
on YouTube.
Scotter does it, but yes.
You can also tag. I still love how I taught you how to tag.
Oh yes. Yes, I gotta do that now from now on. So there's this feature on YouTube, if you guys know, that you could actually tag the people on YouTube instead of this link that I have currently. So from now point forward, it'd be better. Hopefully. Beskar Snake. What? How do
you can just go to any previous podcast. You'll find it in the description. Focus on these other
Yes.
people. They're awesome.
Yeah, Nutmeg.
Look to them. Look to Nutmeg and KKR and Scouter. They do a lot more right now. So yeah, if you want to find me, look go visit one of our other podcasts, and you
And
can look
find
for
out.
it there. But yeah,
Yeah.
make sure you follow KKR, Nutmeg, and Scouter, and they're doing a lot more things directly and currently. So yeah, stick with them.
Sounds good. Nutmeg.
I'm Nutmegsupernova across all major platforms. Just kidding. Instagram, Blue Sky, those are the best places to reach me.
Yeah. And then for me, I'm Scouter75. You can find this podcast, Scouter75, on YouTube. And we're on Spotify. Robot Attack on Spotify. But I'm on Twitch and Twitter, as I mentioned. And yeah, Blue Sky. I try to do everything. Instagram. Mostly Instagram is I just post photos of stupid stuff. It's great. It's amazing.
Isn't that what it's for?
Basically, yes.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
Yeah. So,
I mean, you know, everyone has to have like a posting account. You know,
Mhm.
exactly.
get it off your chest. You know?
Yeah. Sounds good. Well, thanks everyone for watching, listening. Have a good evening. Good night. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.